whatever it is, but you're living. We get back out after a week or two, you say, I'm gonna do it again. I'm strong again. You do it again. And it's a merry-go-round, round. That's why chapter 19 of Genesis, the book of Sodom and Gomorrah, understand that, because even running, Lot grabbed everybody he can grab. The sons-in-laws turned their backs. He got his 2 daughters. His wife's following him, but the wife looked back. Lot loved his wife. Now believe that. I love my kids. It's their choice. We're all, who are we? We're all the sons, daughters of God. So we could be fathers. I got my little babies here, and you know what? I have to give them up to God too and say, God, I have older kids, 30 years old. They choose to make choices, and I'm no longer their earthly father here. I'm their father. They don't come to me no more. They don't want nothing to do with me because I have rules. Ain't that how we are? We don't want to follow rules. I'm not going to listen. But when they're in trouble, my phone's ringing, and the father still answers his phone. I still answer the phone. They want something. They need something. I'm still there. But if it's sin, they got to miss me. How do they say it? Chale. It's not happening. Because I'm not going to engage and indulge in my own kids' future of sin and be a role model to them and say, my dad done it. It's not going to happen. So under instructions, because I have to be a godly father, am I perfect? Far from it. Far from it. But I strive every day. I don't give up. I don't do what I used to do back in the day. But what I do is I strive. I get frustrated. I get angry. And man, people can just tick you off. But I'm telling you, I have a lot of discipline now than I did way back then. It's not about violence. It's not about anything else. It's about understanding the next individual in front of you, because anybody can push your buttons. It's how you deal with it. And if you go to the military, you're going to understand that. You go to prison, you're going to understand that. If you listen to your father, you should understand that. Everybody got a spanking or a whipping before. We quite didn't understand that. We're older now. But now it's our choice, because we run the future now. When the kids come by us, they have to look up to the adults. So if we're the bad role models, what happens? So back to Lot, chapter 19 of Genesis, Sodom and Gomorrah. So Lot's wife looked back, and she turned instantly to a pillar of salt. Now you can take it as a parable, however you want, a story, and say it's not true, but just look at pretty much what happened. And this is the beginning of this Bible that was written. However you want to look at who wrote the Bible, who cares? Just look at the parable and what is going on from the instructions that God gives each and every one of us on a daily. And we make the choices to look back, and we are struggling and struggling and struggling and struggling and struggling and struggling. Like this man said, okay, now we are pretty much independent. we're not rich. We're not rich at all. But we have our own little businesses, small. We strive every day. It's not the best, but the money is food on our table, a roof over our head, the clothes. I have clothes I've had for like 20 years. I'm not all fancy dancing like I used to when I was younger. I don't have to drive the best new cars and all that stuff. God gives me what we need, and that's what it's about. We all want to be rich, but remember the rich man, he's miserable. You want to be happy and have your kids and have your life. You want to have your security. You want to be off the street. You want to have your own apartment or house. And when you know that you can lock your door, come in and out, and your bills are paid, you know that you have food,
wow,
you have clothes, you have hot water, cold water. You can go use a toilet, not an outhouse, not an alley. That is being rich in the eyes of God. We don't look at that because we want when we want when we want it. And that's what the world does not look at. And that's why we have to look at that and be independent and say, hey, I will wake up and I will go strive. If I have to knock on a door and say, hey, can I do your yard? That's the money you just earned. $1 a day is better than no money a day. The economy's high. Yes, we're angry, but you will be blessed if you do the good deeds. A good deed doer gets good blessings from God because he reaches out and he's going to touch you. He's going to touch your future, and he's going to pave the way, and you're going to have the instructions of good people around you. And then all your other buddies, what happened? Because they're gone. Because people get removed out of your lives, trust me. You can know thousands or whatever, they'll all be removed, and you're going to be lucky to have one friend. You're going to be lucky to have one person by your side. And if you're down and out and something does happen again, and you need to get out of jail, no one's going to bond you out. You're going to be lucky that God touches that judge. You get a PR bond, a personal reconnaissance bond, and you get out and say, I'm believing because I'm believing now because you got me out of jail. You got me out of jail because he chose to get you out of jail because he knows your good deeds and you made a mistake. We're not asking you to be perfect. We're just asking you to recognize the love of God and to understand you want change and get the change in your fellowship and be the role models from these streets here to the future of your families and get your families back. And now start saving their lives just by the good inspiration of I changed. And now listen to me now. Listen to my vocabulary. Listen to my apparel. Listen to my everything about me. I changed. You went from looking dull to looking bad, no one wants to be around you, to shining like those angels when they come, because there's people that come in the light, you don't know who they are, and they got those smiles, they just look at you, and they just nod, and we just look, and we're like, they have some good energy, we want that energy, and that's what it's about. That's all what it's about, is brotherly love, and I'm pretty much done about talking about my little